Tonight, you are going to look at a small glowing rectangle and feel your chest tighten over a single lowercase letter. It is just a text message, or maybe a lack of one. But to your brain, this is a matter of absolute survival. You analyze the punctuation like it is an ancient script. You reread a 3-word reply 14 times looking for hidden meaning. Your phone feels heavier in your hand, and every notification sound makes your heart skip a beat. Why does a single human being who barely knows you exist have the power to completely rewrite your mood for the week? We like to think our crushes are about romance, poetry, and finding a soulmate. But the real answer is far stranger. Your brain is not falling in love. It is experiencing a temporary, highly coordinated chemical hijacking. When you see your crush walking down the school hallway, your eyes send a signal to your amygdala. This tiny almond-shaped structure does not understand high school social hierarchies. It only understands threat and reward. Instantly, it triggers your sympathetic nervous system, flooding your bloodstream with adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart rate spikes. Your palms sweat. Your mouth goes dry. This is the exact same evolutionary reflex your ancestors used when running away from a saber-toothed tiger. Why does looking at someone you think is cute feel like running for your life? The blame belongs to a Harvard University researcher named Dr. Helen Fisher, who spent decades putting infatuated people into fMRI brain scanners. What she discovered explains every embarrassing thing you have ever done around a crush. When you look at a photo of the person you like, your brain's ventral tegmental area lights up like a Christmas tree. This is your primitive reward system, the factory that pumps out dopamine. Dopamine is the molecule of anticipation. It does not care about what you have. It only cares about what you might get. When your crush smiles at you, you get a massive dopamine hit. When they ignore you, the dopamine plummets, causing an actual physical withdrawal. Dr. Fisher found that the brain of someone with a heavy crush looks almost identical to the brain of someone addicted to gambling. You are not a romantic hero. You are just a person playing a psychological slot machine, pulling the lever every time you check their story views. To make things crazier, your brain chemistry actively sabotages your intelligence. During the early stages of a crush, your levels of serotonin drop drastically. Dr. Donatella Marasiti at the University of Pisa discovered that this exact same serotonin drop occurs in people diagnosed with obsessive-compulsive disorder. This is why you cannot stop thinking about them. Your brain literally loses the ability to switch topics. It creates an intrusive thought loop, forcing you to replay every interaction you have ever had with them on repeat. While your serotonin is crashing, your prefrontal cortex is actively shutting down. This is the part of your brain responsible for logic, judgment, and spotting red flags. With the prefrontal cortex offline, you experience what psychologists call positive illusion. You lose the ability to see them as a normal human who eats cereal and forgets to brush their teeth. Instead, you turn them into a flawless deity. If they like the same obscure indie band as you, your brain convinces you that it is destiny, ignoring the fact that they also leave their shopping carts in the middle of the parking lot. This whole chemical circus is driven by an evolutionary trick called the uncertainty principle. In behavioral psychology, B.F. Skinner proved that creatures become obsessed when rewards are unpredictable. If a rat presses a lever and gets food every time, it presses the lever only when it is hungry. But if the lever only drops food randomly, the rat becomes frantic, pressing the lever continuously until it passes out. Your crush is that unpredictable lever. Because you do not know if they like you back, your brain goes into hyperdrive to solve the puzzle. So, how do you break the loop? You have to force your prefrontal cortex back online by gathering real data. The fantasy of a crush is always safer than reality because a fantasy cannot reject you. But the longer you stay in the fantasy, the more addicted your reward center becomes to the idea of them, rather than the actual person. You are living inside a mental simulation powered by dopamine and low serotonin. Tonight, you are going to look at that small glowing rectangle and wait for a single lowercase letter. Your chest will tighten, your palms will sweat, and you will analyze the punctuation like your life depends on it. But now you know the truth behind the screen. Behind that screen is not your destiny, but a beautifully chaotic psychological trap designed by evolution to make you pull the lever one more time.